So I realized that I was so eager to work on this project. I've been thinking about it for weeks, and I just threw it in the Q-snap without looking or noticing that it doesn't have any good lines. Okay, so I'm just going to do these last couple of lines, and I'll do the horizontal ones. And hopefully I haven't miscounted. So what are you guys working on? Let me know in the comments. I have been thinking about working on this project for over a month now. And now that I've finished Merry Mushroom Village and I finished all the black on my Dragons of the Sabbat, I have a little bit more leeway. So actually what I did was today I actually worked on Colosseum. I put in a lot of work on it. I put in about over 3,000 stitches. And it was mostly in one color, and man, that's a lot of stitches. But I was in a lot of meetings that I didn't have to really pay. I was mostly listening. I didn't have to pay too close attention to. What's up here? So this is 120. All right. Let me make sure we're still okay. There we go. Okay. Excellent. So my first color is anyway. So yeah. So what was I saying? Yeah. So I was looking for. So I was working on the Colosseum, and I put in a ton of stitches in that, and I was trying really hard to get as much of the sky done as possible, but it is impossible to get it all done because I think there's another 4,000 of that one particular shade of blue left. And man, it's just so boring. So I was happy to put that away and pull this out. Now, should I be stitching? Nope, I should not. I should be packing and cleaning up. We leave for our trip in 2 days. So this time in 2 days from now, I will be on the airplane over to Europe, or to Italy in particular. But my husband had a curling game, so he's gone. My daughter went to her boyfriend's house, and my son is in the basement with his girlfriend. So I'm all by myself. and I still felt like stitching. And in particular, I wanted to stitch something colorful. And so, of course, this one came to mind first. Let me just check that I'm in frame good. Okay. Had to make sure that I was actually filming there, because before I thought I was filming, but I just took pictures. Anyway, yeah, so I am not packed yet, and much to my husband's dismay, he's one of those people that packs 3 weeks in advance for a trip. I can't do that. I don't know what I'm going to feel like wearing, and I also forget what I packed, and then I get all paranoid that I didn't pack things, and then I would empty my suitcase. So doing it ahead of time is not really a thing for me. I'm one of those people that has to pull out all my clothes and put them all on the bed, and then figure out what I want to bring and what I don't want to bring. Okay, so I was just using up that really short piece there. And I'm going to end this one. I'll end it under there. I love this piece so much, and this one at the beginning of the year came out quite often, but then I got really busy with work, and I wasn't able to do anything except for my focus pieces, and occasionally, of course, the new starts. So I'm super excited that I get to work on this. I don't know how long this is going to be. It may just be an hour or so, but that's fine. At least I get that happiness, that satisfaction. So I was thinking today, and I actually finished putting together some projects, a little kit for me to bring with my stitching and knitting as well. So hang on a second here. Okay, and my knitting as well. So what I have decided to bring is the two pieces that I talk about in my last floss tube. So the Christmas Vacation Rant and the video game sampler. And I also threw in the new start, the gazebo path. The one with all the one with the little gazebo and the path to the gazebo. Okay, so 1, 2. Okay. So yeah, so those all packaged up into a really small package. So if I don't get to the new start, that is a-okay. Now, how close is this? I find it so weird that I can't, I don't know how, pardon me for a second, I just want to see. Okay, I don't know if that's really super close, but hopefully it's better than it was. Yeah, so so I brought those 3 cross stitch projects. As I mentioned in my floss tube video, I will have a lot of time on the plane and in airports to sit and craft, either cross stitch or knit, depending on the situation. If I can bring out, if it's not too complicated to bring out my tablet with Markup RXP, then I can stitch. Otherwise, I can just bring my knitting or take out my knitting. So knitting wise, I'm bringing 2 things. One is I'm bringing my, I'm bringing some yarn for starting a new pair of socks for my father-in-law, as I mentioned in my floss tube. And the other one is my half and half triangle wrap by Pearl Soho. I showed you that a couple of videos ago. That is my doing it with let's see, the colorway is called Blue Moon Fiber Arts in the colorway Strawberry Fields. And what I've decided is, because I want to use that entire, I have a whole pound of yarn, which is a lot of yarn. I could pretty much make a sweater. So I'm making the large size wrap, and I'm gonna do both triangles the same color instead of making 2 different colors. But what I've decided to do is I have decided to add stripes. So I picked out today 2 shades of gray. One is a light gray that has sparkles in it, so that might be fun. And another one is a tonal gray, which would also look really nice because the Strawberry Fields is also a tonal pink. So I haven't decided which of those yet that it's going to be. So we'll see. You'll have to wait until my next floss tube when I'm back from my trip to see what I ended up using, because I don't know myself yet. So yeah, so those 2 things are pretty mindless. So if I'm in a situation like in the car where I can't concentrate on, wait a minute, did I make a mistake here? No. Sorry, so if I'm in a car situation where I can't concentrate on cross-stitching and a tablet because I would probably be sick, I can pull out my knitting because I can knit without looking, and then that way my hands are still busy and I could just look down once in a while to see where I'm going. So that's fun. So in Italy, we're not just staying put in one place. We are going to see my family in Rome. We're going to stay there for a couple of days, but then my family, or part of my family, is actually coming on another mini trip with us. Also still in Italy, but we're going to multiple places. So we're going to go see the Dolomites for a day. Unfortunately, I wanted to make that a big part of the trip, but unfortunately, most of it is closed at this time of year because they, I don't know, they repave the roads or something. They take care of the roads in preparation for for wintertime. So anyway, so we'll spend a day there. Then we are going to be spending a few days or several days in Tuscany. We're going to go to the Amarone wine region and see a couple of towns in there. Probably hit Florence. We've been to Florence before, but we really like it. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So we may go in there for a day as well, and then we're gonna go way to the bottom of the country, and we are going to go to Sicily, which is the island right at the toe of the boot, and we're spending a few days there. I think my entire family is joining us there because we're going to go over the November 1st long weekend. It is a long weekend for them because they get All Saints Day off of work as a holiday. So that will be fun. Anyway, I'm so looking forward to it. I can't even describe. I just have to get off my butt and actually pack for the trip. It's a little bit, so I kind of have to bring a bit of everything because in the south it's going to be super warm. In the north it'll be cool. And so yeah, so we kind of have to bring a bit of everything, which makes packing a little tricky, especially with all the weight restrictions. But c'est la vie. I hope my hand's not in the way the whole time. I apologize if it is. I can't really see what you're looking at, so. I have had a lot of traveling in the past few weeks. So we've got this trip coming up, like I said, in 2 days. Last weekend, I worked at a psychic fair a couple of hours away from here. That was a 3-day long affair. It was really great. And the people that I read for all seemed to leave very happy with me, with my readings. And I think I helped quite a few people as well, which was, some people just go for entertainment purposes, right? So those tend to be more fun readings. Some people come for more coaching advice. Some people just want to know or want some advice on choosing between different options. What are the pros and cons of each option? See what the cards have to say. And it was really interesting. I had people that, okay, 1 sec, 5, 3. I had this one guy that came, and his girlfriend was the one pushing him to have a reading. And it was really interesting. So he sat in front of me with his arms crossed, like he, doesn't believe it. Doesn't believe in it, which is fine. I'm not going to walk on anybody's beliefs. I know it to be pretty accurate. It's been accurate for me, and it's been incredibly helpful for me in my life. But I'm not going to push that on anybody, right? Okay, so hold on. I think I'm missing a stitch right here. Anyway, so this guy sits in front of me and has his arms crossed. Didn't say a single word. He just said, I asked him if he had a question. And he didn't. He just wanted to see what the cards had to say. And so whatever you're thinking, everything is energy, right? So whatever you're thinking about tends to come out, or whatever is weighing on you tends to come out in the cards. And so I'm connecting with your energy, and that's what comes out. So people, it often surprises people, but this gentleman didn't say a single word, and I pull out the cards and I start talking to him, and I start explaining. First, the cards were just sort of talking about him and his character and how he does certain things, and and his girlfriend just starts laughing because it was just spot on. Anyway, then I pull out more cards and I ask him whether he's because of the cards that came up, I ask him if he's involved in a legal battle with another woman. And his face just dropped because he was indeed in a lawsuit with his ex-wife. And anyway, it was just kind of fun. I really love those types of readings because, it just, people leave. So, and I asked him, I said, am I freaking you out? Because his face just, like I said, just dropped. It kind of went white a little bit. And like, am I freaking you out? I don't mean to. And he said, no, you're not freaking me out, but I am rapidly becoming a believer based on everything you've said and the specifics that you've been able to give me, even though I haven't given you any information whatsoever. So I love those types of readings. I'm not going to lie. Okay, I'm just going to mark off what I've done. Yeah, so it was a great show. It was quite busy. I was pretty busy the entire time. And I'm also very glad that I now have a break until January. I'm not doing any other shows. Well, I actually should say that I am doing some single day ones, just ones that are like 6 or 7 hours long. And those are fine, but I'm not doing any other weekend long ones this year. And I'm glad for it because, wow, they take a lot. They take a lot of energy, and I have to keep reminding myself. I'm also empathic, so I have to keep, making sure that I'm shielding myself and making sure that I'm not taking on board other people's emotions, which can then create havoc for me, and I don't want that. What else happened? Oh, the other thing that happened on the weekend is I had my attunement for Reiki. So I am learning Reiki. I've passed the first. I've gotten the first level certification, and I am going to be starting on the second level probably after I get back from my trip. I'm going to take a little while off. Still practicing, still doing Reiki on anybody who'll let me do it for them, which is great. If you're not aware of what Reiki is, Reiki is really, it's a universal life force. And trying to remember what the year was exactly. I should remember this because I did learn this. But Dr. Usui in Japan first learned it by himself on a mountain and then brought it to the rest of the world. There have been other masters as well. Anyways, it is essentially using the universal life energy to heal. And it is, well, it can be used for a lot of things actually, but healing is what I'm interested in using it for. To heal myself and to heal others. It has definitely been helping, even better than medication. In some cases with my migraines and with some other pains that I have. So it's been fabulous. Anyway, so that was awesome. And I got my attunement on Friday night, and then Saturday, even though I hadn't slept much that night, and I was still exhausted from Friday, because it was an 8-hour day on Friday and an 11-hour day on Saturday. They were very long days, and I was really exhausted, but I was also really full of energy, which was amazing. Okay, where am I here? Let me mark these off. You know, one of the things I really like about this chart is that the confetti, it is not horrible. There is some confetti, like these eyes. Oh my God, they're so thick because there's about 50 different colors in those in that one eye alone. And it took forever to stitch that eye because of all the confetti. But the rest of it, there's a lot of bulk stitching, which is awesome. It's not necessarily block stitching, but there is some of that too. Like you can see some of it here and some of this purple. But there's a lot of bulk stitching like I'm doing now. So I really enjoy that because, well, if you have followed me before or listened to me before, you'll know that I really enjoy cross-country stitching. And I don't like to, I don't like to park. Let's just be honest. I don't like it. It's just a little too messy for me. My brain just sees it as incomplete and doesn't like it. So, what I like to do is I like to finish the thread. So working cross country works for me that way. And yeah, I just keep going with that color until I'm tired of it, or until I finish the thread, and then I will go back, pick the next color up in that top left box, and carry on with that one as far as I feel like, or until the thread runs out. So this way, when I put the project away for the evening, I don't have threads hanging down. I will occasionally park. It's not that I never do it. I will occasionally park. So if I get to, the end, if I get near the edges of my Q-snap and there's still more stitches of that, whatever color's on my needle, I may park it there so it's ready for when I move the Q-snap. Where am I here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And one thing I was thinking about trying, and I don't know, I might just pick one project to try it on. And although I have to figure out how to do this. But so let's talk about diagonal stitching. Diagonal stitching with parking doesn't work for me because, as I said, I don't like parking. I don't like having all the threads there. Now Vani from Thread the Needle had put out, I think I watched it about a year ago or so. She had put out a video showing diagonal stitching, but cross country. So it's merging cross country and diagonal stitching. And essentially she does I think it's a 20 stitch wide diagonal, and does cross country just within that diagonal. So that's kind of cool. I could potentially try that. I did try it with a 10 stitch diagonal, and that was very, very short-lived. That was last year or something. But if I can figure out how to get Markup RxP to show me a diagonal of 20 stitches wide, I would like to try the 20 stitch wide one. On one project, I'll pick one and see if I can do that. Again, cross country, not no, I don't like that one. I accidentally split the thread. There we go. Cross country, not parking. So this, I told you what this project was. I am doing it 2/1 10 stitch, as you can see, and I'm doing it on 23 count Aida. No, not Aida, even weave, sorry. It's the same even weave as my Dragons of the Sabbat is, except that this one is not nearly as soft as that one. It was from the same piece of fabric, but I guess because Dragons was literally out and curled up in my lap for so long, and being, tossed here, there, and everywhere, and folded and wrapped and blah blah blah. It's like butter. It's so floppy. This is a little bit stiffer, but not too much. The one thing that is annoying with this 22 count even weave, I get 23. It's actually 23 counts. It was sold as 22 count. But anyway, the one thing that is I find a little annoying is that sometimes I split the threads because there are only 2. And it is very easy to split the threads on the fabric. And then you don't have your stitch doesn't lay properly, right? Finding that is particularly the case on my Colosseum. So, okay, I'm just coming to the end of this thread. Let's see if I can get, hold on one second. Got 1, 2, now I have to go, oh, okay. I did 1 stitch too many. Because I wasn't marking off. Okay. Skip 1 and let's see if I could do, can I get 5 stitches in here? Nope, see, and I split the thread again. What I should be using on this, oh, I have to do 6 stitches, not 5. Okay. What I should be using on this fabric, actually, I think, is, I'll just put this down here, is a ball tip needle. I think that would be easier. The needle I'm using right now, I think it's a bowhen and it's very sharp. And I'm just gonna grab it, so bear with me for 1 second. Okay. I had to steal it off my veil of death. Okay, let me put this one on a needle minder. Okay, what number was that? I think I'm going to continue with that color for 1 more stretch. I haven't worked on Veil of Death in at least a month, I think, because I was focusing so much on Merry Mushroom Village and Dragons of the Sabbat, and also trying to get in stitches in Home Sweet Home. So those 3 focus pieces. And so the other ones, even though they are focus pieces, they kind of went by the wayside for a bit, which is fine, because now I've only got 3 or 4 focus pieces left. I have Veil of Death, Colosseum, Sunset in Venice, and Home Sweet Home. Yes, 4. And so for the rest of this year, I'm going to focus on getting some of those goals done. Colosseum, my goal was to get it to 25%, and I think I only have about 8,000 stitches to get there. So I think I can get that done by the end of the year. If I put in, about 750 or 800 stitches a week, I should be able to do that. What am I doing? I'm talking, and not paying attention to what I'm doing. I'm just stitching. I've had a headache. I've had a headache today, and my brain is not fully engaged. Whoops. Taking stitches out with a ballpoint needle is not the easiest thing to do. Anyway, what was I going to say? Oh, today, so I had a headache. I was working from home, luckily. And luckily, like I said, I mostly had to just listen in on different meetings, which I was very, very glad for. One of the things I did also, and I did it a week ago, or maybe even longer, was I went through my whole master set of Floss, and I realized it. I was trying to kit up Polar Bear, Mama, and Cub. That's right. So I guess it's about a month ago now for my Stitch With Me. And I realized that I was missing a lot of floss. And so I had been, sort of not even paying attention. I would go to my master set to get some floss. It wouldn't be there, so then I would be robbing my other monster, my floss monsters that are kitted projects for other projects. So anyway, so I had put in an order for CXC thread. I use a combination of CXC and DMC. And I had this entire project bag full of flosses that were actually missing in my master set. So it was a whole project bag full. I don't even know how many skeins it was. I'm sure it's like 200. Anyway, so last night I did a bunch. Put them on my floss straps. And I did from the 1s to the 800s. Got all the 800s done. And was facing the daunting task of doing all the rest. I was missing most of the 3800s, most of the 3700s, and a lot of the 900s as well. So my daughter this morning did not have work, and she was just going to be home watching TV. So I asked her if she would be willing to put my the remaining floss on floss straps for me, and I would gladly pay her for the labor, the effort. So she did. She got most of them done. There's about, I think there's about 15 or 20 skeins left that she hasn't done yet. She was just really, it took her all afternoon, and she was really tired by the end of it. which I'm not surprised because I was tired just thinking about doing it. I seriously considered just leaving them in the skeins and just using them from the skeins. Like, honestly, that's how daunting a task that was. But anyway, so I gladly paid her for that half day of flossing up my skeins. Okay, let me mark these off. There was a lot of, not gonna lie, there was a lot of swearing happening because she would keep pulling from the wrong end of the floss, and it would end up in a knot. So on top of, she would, anyways, it seemed like, I know it wasn't, but it did seem like every 5 minutes she was barging in here, handing me mangled skein of floss and asking me to untangle it. So I'm sure I untangled like at least 20 skeins. But that's okay. It got done. And so now I can just, I don't like doing that. I just want to focus. It takes away from the stitching. And that's what I want to do. Getting up projects, some people I know find it very relaxing and enjoyable. I don't like it. I would, if it wasn't, terribly expensive to have someone else do it, I would gladly pay somebody to kit up all my projects for me. But with as many projects as I have, that's just not economically feasible for me. Hopefully you can't hear my son and his girlfriend downstairs. They're having a good laugh about something. I don't know about you guys, but I really love listening to my kids laugh. 3, 4, 5. I love listening to any kids laugh, especially really young ones. But it makes my heart sing when I hear my kids having a good time. So I'm slowly making my way back up this way. Yeah, so anyway, so that's my travel news. I am excited for that. I'm gonna put this, so I filmed my floss tube, which today is what, the 22nd? 23rd. It's Wednesday the 23rd. You guys won't have seen the floss tube yet. I've set it to come out next Tuesday because it's only been a week since my last floss tube. So while I'm away, that will come out, and then this will come out the following week. So That way, even though I'm gone for 2.5 weeks, you'll still get a video each week. So hope you enjoy. Oh, I'm so happy after all that blue today. I'm so happy to be stitching with something that's not light blue. Thankfully, it wasn't too painful because it's the palest ice blue that I was using, that I put 3,000 stitches in. And there's no way I would have been able to do that if I was stitching on white fabric, but the Coliseum is tea-dyed fabric, which I tea-dyed myself. So it wasn't too bad. There was some contrast and it didn't hurt my eyes. But this is nice. Split the fabric again. So I talked about in the floss tube that, well, it's not out at this point, but by the time that you see this video, it will be out. I talked about tweaking my 2025 plans a little bit, and I really decided that next year, 2025, I really want to lay off on having too many goals. This year was just too much. I'm glad I did it. I'm glad I stuck with it for the most part. But I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that again anytime soon. Hold on, I have to mark off because I'm getting a little bit lost here. Okay, those are all done. And 1, 2, third row up. So there should be 6. Okay. It's 4. 5 and 6. What was I saying? Oh yeah, I don't want to do that again. I do want to have some goals, so I will have 2 projects that will come out every week. So one of those is definitely going to be Home Sweet Home, because I would like to get that finished in 5 years. So 3 more years. In the next 3 years, I want that finished. It's my anniversary piece. And so I think I'm going to pull that out and I'm going to aim for getting 1,000 stitches a week. So 1,000 stitches a week, that'll be 52,000 stitches for the year, which will be great. That'll set me up well for getting the rest of it done in the next couple years after that. So that will be one. The second one, I'm not 100% sure yet. I know that, well, I guess there's 3, because my third one that will have a goal is Dragons of the Sabbat. I would like to get 1 dragon completed next year. And 1 dragon is about 44,000 stitches. And so that's less than 1,000 stitches a week. So that's good. I could do that. And I'll probably have, yeah, so I'll have one more whip, which will come out every week, which will probably have a smaller goal, like, 500 stitches a week or something. That might be the Coliseum. It might. I'm not 100% sure, but it might. The Coliseum has a total of about 153,000 stitches. By the end of this year, I will be at 25%. And how many stitches is that? Bear with me for a sec here. It's about 38,000. About 38,000 stitches. Yeah, so if I do another 40,000 stitches next year, that's probably around 700 stitches a week, something like that. I think that is doable, but again, with the caveat that I'm not going to worry about, I'm not going to, like, it's just something to shoot for. I'm not going to be upset if I don't meet that goal. And I'm also not going to worry about catching up. So if 1 week I only get 300 stitches done, then so be it. I'm not going to worry about it. The next week I'm going to work on the next set of 750 stitches or whatever it ends up working out to. Because I really want to enjoy my stitching next year. And I also want to, hold on a second. Again, I went one too far up. Okay, all of you who managed to talk and stitch at the same time. Oops, that didn't work. I commend you. Well, that's not going to work. Okay. Yeah, so I want to, so those 3 I think should be okay. Well, you know what? I'm actually rethinking this on the fly. I think the 2 focus pieces next year are going to be just the dragon on Dragons of the Sabbat, the 1 dragon, and my Home Sweet Home, 1,000 stitches a week. I think those are going to be the only 2. Because then I will also have the Monopoly game, and all of my whips are on there, including Home Sweet Home and Dragons of the Sabbat and Coliseum and all that. So, although I might change that too, since I've got new starts, I can swap those with new starts. Anyway, let's see what I've done here. Yeah, so just those 2, and then I'll have the Monopoly game. The Monopoly game will have, I mean, if you didn't watch my Floss tube, please go ahead and do that, because I explain exactly how I'm going to do that. But the one thing to mention is, and by the way, I would love it if people want to play along. That would be awesome. But anyway, 1, 2, 3. Those numbers will get pretty high. So I'm going to be playing with 2 players only. And I may even switch it to just 1 player. I don't know. I think I'm going to stick with the 2 players for now. And the numbers are, because of how I'm working it, the stitch numbers are going to get fairly high, like 1,000 or so. But don't forget that those are for over 2 weeks. It's over a 2-week period. So I'm going to be doing rolling the dice on my floss tube, my regular floss tubes with you guys. And then I'll have 2 weeks to get those done. So even if I have 2,000 stitches on one project and 1,000 stitches on another, that's only 1,500 stitches a week for both of those, the total of those 2 projects, which is doable. And that will also leave me time for knitting and crocheting, because I really, really, really want to get back to those 2 things as well. Okay, where am I? So, no, don't tell me that. Oh my goodness gracious. Apparently I should not stitch while I am not feeling the best, because all of these stitches that I just did right here, they all belong in this square over here. So I gotta yank them all out. I think I've done almost as much ripping out today as I have stitching. Anyway, right now I am enjoying my knitting my socks and that half and half wrap. But I do have some other stuff that I want to work on so I can get it off the needles and cast something else on. Oops. I cannot believe I did this. I don't know why I can't believe it, but it's a bit annoying. Okay, so let me back it up, sister. I need to just take a moment I want to make sure I want to make sure that I don't have to rip even more out. I really, really would be annoyed if that was the case. And I just knotted my floss somehow. Okay. All right. Bear with me, please. Okay, so those up there are correct. Right, then 1, 2, and then, yeah, it should be here. Okay. But these are in the wrong spot. Because those will have to be here. And those are in the right spot. Okay. And this is all in the what? Seriously? All right, who sent me the frog? Because seriously, this is really annoying. I could blame this on my headache. I could blame this on my trying to do this with only my regular glasses and not my magnifier, but no, I think it's just me being stupid. That's really annoying. I know I've said before that I tend not to rip out on full coverage, but when I just discover it, and it's not too many. I mean, this is only about, I don't know, maybe 50 stitches, so it's not too bad. And I had just done them, so okay, I need my magnifier actually to rip out. There we go. Also, I want to show you when I start stitching, when I'm done ripping out, if you're still with me and haven't taken off because of my stupidity here, my, not stupidity, just my lack of focus. I want to go back to the needle review I did. So if you're not aware, I did a needle review in my first, I want to say in my first 10 floss tubes sometime. It is in the title of the floss tube. And if I remember, which to be honest, I probably won't, but if I remember, I will link that below or put it in the cards here somewhere. So I did a review of, I don't know, about a dozen, I want to say somewhere around 10 or 12 different types of needles. One of those needles that I reviewed was the ballpoint. And I just want to show you something when I'm done here. What's going on here? Is it this one first? So I had worked, before I did the review, I had worked with all of the needles for a bit. One sec here. Trying to figure out which one is the one. Oh, it has to be that one. Okay. Just doesn't want to come up. Okay, bear with me for a second. It's definitely one of these. But why it's not coming out, I don't know. There we go. Okay. Just didn't yank hard enough. Anyway, so I did work with all of the needles, and of course I've been continuing to work with all the needles. And my opinion still stands in terms of which one I like the best, or which ones I like the best. Those being the bohin and also the Chinese needles, which are stainless steel and have not not rusted, that's the wrong word, have not tarnished on you. And I had said at the time of that video, my hold on a second. Now I'm just joyfully ripping out, and I want to make sure that I'm in the right spot. Okay, taking that out. Now, that was correct. Wait, sorry, that was correct. This one. Down here. Oh, I went off here. These are supposed to be on the next one. Okay, so I guess I'm going to continue ripping out. Oh my gosh. And story, this is instead of a stitch with me, it's ending up being a rip with me. Except hopefully you guys are actually still stitching and not ripping. Yeah, so at the time, even though I had worked with the ball tip needle quite a bit, and it had not tarnished. I did have one person say in the comments that her experience was that the plating flakes off of her ballpoint needles. So I haven't had that. I have not had the flaking. I've not had the plating flake off. However, and let me just grab it now. However, I have had it, it has tarnished. So I don't know if you're going to be able to see. Let me just poke it in here. Okay. Hopefully you guys can see that. If I put the light right over it, I don't know if you guys can see that, but from the tip to about here is still very shiny. And the rest of it is tarnished. Now, there's a couple of things that you can do. One is you can get an emery board, not an emery board, an emery, here, I'll show you what it looks like. It's kind of like a sand, I guess. But anyways, I have this. And you can actually, so this is the part that has the emery in it. And you can actually shine it back up with that. A little bit trickier with the ballpoint lens. Anyways, you can do that. And that's already helped a little bit. And the other thing you can do is you can try, and this works on knitting needles wonderfully, just in case you're wondering, or in case you're wondering about your needles tarnishing. What you can do is you can get a lemon and use a lemon, rub it in lemon. The acid will shine them right back up. Also, by the way, ketchup also works. Again, it's the acidity that does it. So it will clear those right up. So if you are finding that either your knitting needles or your sewing needles or cross-stitch needles are tarnishing, you don't have to throw them out. They, you can untarnish them if you want. Now, knitting needles are much more expensive, so yeah, you probably do want to use one of those two tricks, because they get, when they are tarnished, they tend to get kind of sticky. Or they stick to the yarn a little bit more, which makes knitting a little bit, for me, for people who like knitting fast, like I do. I have my Addy Rockets, which are, so those ones are nickel plated, I believe. So they do tarnish. Okay, so I'm done ripping out, and hopefully we can go back to stitching properly now. Okay, so let me just make sure where I am. Those are correct. And then I had to go, I had to go to the next one. So, and actually, since I don't have, I'm gonna add it. Anyways, so yeah, so cross stitch needles, not very expensive. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Cross stitch needles, not very expensive. You can easily just throw them out if you like when they tarnish. The tarnishing doesn't really matter. It does not affect your fabric whatsoever. The only thing it does is it makes the stitching a little bit, it feels a little rougher going through the fabric. It doesn't come off. You don't get anything on your fabric, so that's not an issue. Same thing with knitting needles. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. It's just a question of feel. That's all. So that one already, like I said, the bell tip one already, even just after a couple of passes through the emery, which I just bought on AliExpress, by the way. It already shined right back up. But again, as some other people, like I said, someone has had the experience of the plating actually flaking off. That seems like it might be a defect. Maybe for that particular batch. I don't know. I haven't had that issue with my ballpoints. Let me know your experience with them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so I just wanted to give that, I wanted to give you that little update. And more, like I said, sorry, I'm trying to do two things at once. So if I'm repeating myself, I really apologize. I just wanted to make the point that I wanted to let you know that cleaning them, shining them back up is an option. And especially for knitting needles. Because like I said, you know, whereas cross-stitch needles can be from a few cents to a few bucks a needle, knitting needles can be a heck of a lot more expensive than that. So knowing that you can shine them back up and restore that luster and restore the finish so it's nice and fast again and feels good going through the fabric, knowing that that's possible is really good. Okay, so we're almost back to where we were. My goodness. 2 and then 2 on the diagonal. Anyway, let me know what your experience is. Have you tried the lemon juice trick or the emery trick? By the way, that emery, so as you saw, there's a tomato and attached to there's a little strawberry attached to the tomato. What I thought I was getting when I ordered it, and by the way, it was really challenging to find on AliExpress. I kept getting emery boards like for nails or for woodworking. But anyway, what I thought I was getting was that I thought the tomato part would be full of the emery and the little strawberry was just a little decoration. It's actually the opposite. The tomato is just full of styrofoam and the little strawberries is what has the emery in it. Now, I only did pay like a couple bucks for it, so maybe $3 or $4. It wasn't much. It definitely was not more than that. So I can't really complain too much. Plus, I mean, I guess arguably you don't really need much. You just keep reusing it and reusing it. I do worry a little bit about the fabric eventually ripping, or the emery filings or whatever they are, falling out. I don't know. Do you guys have one? Do you have a better place to buy them from? I couldn't really find them anywhere. I also looked on, I think I looked on Amazon. It was like $75 or something ridiculous. But it was also coming from the US. So for us, that would be, anyway, I don't know. I have no idea. Maybe if you're in the US, check it out. Check out Amazon and see what the cost is. It might be a lot less expensive for you guys. Okay, so apparently I am going to have to just stop this video, I think. I keep making mistakes and my floss is shredding. That doesn't usually happen to me. It's very odd. Very odd. And this one is actually DMC, so that's really bizarre. Okay, so we have the 2 there. Then we have the 2 there. Then there should be 2 here. Okay. I don't know why I thought I was going wrong. Anyway. Oof. I'm sorry this has been a disaster of a video, but it's real life. This is what happens to me at times. I can usually avoid ripping out a lot as much as I have if I'm just focusing. But today my focus is just scattered between the migraine, and even though, so I did some self-treatment of Reiki, and that really helped. And I also, about an hour later, it was still lingering, so I gave in and I took some meds. And if you have migraines, then you'll totally understand this, but you kind of feel, and the next day will often be like this as well after you've suffered from a migraine the day before. You kind of feel like totally discombobulated. Like the pain is gone, and the pain is gone right now. It is gone. I don't have it anymore. But I feel like I almost feel hungover. Like that feeling where just something is not right. And just I can't seem to focus. So I'm really sorry for this video being a flat out mess. But I know many of you can relate. Unfortunate, and that is an unfortunate thing for you. Fortunate for me that because you can relate, hopefully you'll give me some grace. Or maybe you'll just drop me like a hot potato and unsub and never watch me again. guess it's a crapshoot, but for the most part, people have been really wonderful on here. Which I very greatly appreciate. Okay, I'm just going to mark some off here. Okay. So hopefully I'm in the right spot. Oh my goodness, can you imagine? I would really not be happy if this would be going in the naughty corner and not coming out for a while. If I had to rip all that out again. But I think I'm okay. Okay. Yep. Looks like I'm on track. So I am just about done here. Wow, I have never had this experience with this floss before. Oh boy, it's like totally unwound itself. It's not just gone fluffy, it's actually unwound and stretched. See that? I think I am going to take this off and just get another piece, because this is terrible. I've never had that happen before. Okay. Wow. Okay, so actually what I'm gonna do, okay, so I'm gonna unmark these because one, two, and just one. Okay, what I'm gonna do is I'm tired of that color now. So I'm gonna move to the next color. Okay, and this is 3746, which I think is a dark purple. Yep. I don't know if you can hear my son and his girlfriend. They're having a good time. Okay, now back up to the top. Okay. So I had my I had my flu shot yesterday, and today, not only is my arm sore, which it has been since last night, but I actually have I have pain in my armpit of that arm. The last time that happened, the pain also was going down my arm a bit. Today it's not going down my arm. But I thought I was having a heart attack or something. But the last time that happened to me and that I was having the pains shooting down my arm, it was because I had I had the flu shot and another vaccine at the same time. And I went to the doctor because, like I said, I thought I was having a heart attack. And it turned out what the doctor said was that it was just my immune system going haywire because of the 2 vaccines. So I shouldn't have 2 vaccines at the same time anymore. But I only had the flu shot, so I don't know why I'm having that pain. I guess that's where your lymph nodes are, or one side of your lymph nodes are in your armpit. It's just not liking it. Anyway, hopefully it goes away before my trip. Okay, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, and 1 over here. Skip 1. Another 3. So what else is new? What's new with you guys? What are you guys up to? Do you have something to look forward to other than Halloween and Christmas? I really do like Halloween. I've never been one to really decorate a lot for Halloween. I don't know, we just never did. But hold on one sec here. Sorry, lost my train of thought there for a second. Yeah, so we don't decorate a ton for Halloween. And this year I'm not doing it at all because we won't be here. So I kind of don't see the point. I do have some decorations in my office / craft room here that are up all year round. Have some skulls and some witchy stuff. All year round. Okay, so that's all of them there. Now I'm going to go back. Well, let's just go over here. I don't remember when I started this project. I'll have to check. Don't. Oh, maybe it's on the info. So this says markup started October 3rd, 2023. I'm not sure that that's accurate. The markup on this tablet might have started then, but I might have started it earlier and then had to back it up, right, back it up and then re-upload it onto my new tablet. I don't remember when that was. That might have been a year ago. Anyway, I'll have to check. I'm not 100% sure. But this is a mini. Let me just grab another one of that same thread because I really do like the color. And also mark off these stitches. Okay. What number is that? 3746. Yeah, so I'll have to check. It'll be on my spreadsheet and also in my journal that I keep. This is a I don't think I said this is a mini. So sorry, I'm just trying to thread the needle here. It is a mini, so it's not that big. I'll have to check on my iPad here. Let's see. No, it's not very big. It has 96,250 stitches. So far I've done 15,825 for 16.4%. That's where I'm at right now, as of this moment. Okay, so let me just mark these guys off here. And I'm going to go back up here because I'm missing some stitches. Okay. Ooh, I wonder. Maybe I can set this. I wonder if I could set this as my as a potential finishing piece for next year. Probably not. That's a lot of stitches. And I want to get my dragon. I want to get my dragon done. I really, really like this piece though. I'm not 100% crazy about the coverage, to be honest with you. You can see some of the white peeking through, but I think that once you're standing a few feet away, it's okay. You can't see it too much. I do love the bold colors. What else? What else? Sorry, I'm not too talkative. Just like I said, I'm having a little trouble concentrating. I think I'm going to finish this this thread, and then I'm going to leave this here. And I don't think that I will even take it off of the Q-snap or my stand. I think I'll leave it. Tomorrow I'm not going to be able to stitch. I'm at the office tomorrow, and I'm going to be busy in the evening, finishing getting ready and making sure the house is clean. We have a house sitter who's going to, well, it's my sister. My daughter's boyfriend is coming, and will be living here while we're gone. So he's going to look after the cats. My dog is at my in-laws. Anyway, so I want to make sure that the house is clean for him, and potentially make some food for him as well. There's Smokey at the door. Hi, Smokey Poke. Are you coming in? I'm gonna let him in. Hi, buddy. Are you coming in, monkey? Were you sleeping this whole time, bud? Lazy bones? Okay. Don't you be causing trouble. Okay. Too bad I wasn't able to video today because Ash was in here all day with me, which he normally doesn't do. And I don't know if you can hear him, but he is now crying because he wants to go outside. He is not an outdoor cat. But he is a door dasher. Oh, is he ever. Okay, what's going on here? 1, 2, 3. Okay. They're both door dashers, but Ash in particular. And he will meow very, very loudly to go outside. We have a, we do have a 3-tiered catio, I guess, cat cage, whatever you want to call it, outside. So we do put him out there, and he likes being in it because he can just sit. The top cage is, or the top part of the cage is, there's a hammock in there, and he loves to sit in the hammock, and he can see he can see 360 degrees around our house, I guess. So he loves to watch the birds on the bird feeders. He loves to watch the chipmunks and the squirrels. Hi, buddy. Oh, did you bring a toy? Oh, really? You want me to throw it for you? You have to bring it here. Bring it here. Bring it here and I'll throw it for you. So Smoke will bring me stuff to throw so he can chase it. He's like a dog. He'll play fetch. And yes, bring it here. I'm not going to get up and go over there and get it for you. Bring it here. He's sitting a few feet away from me, meowing at me with a twist tie, which he's gotten from somewhere, waiting for me to throw it. So this guy, he's a little munchkin. He's a mischievous little munchkin, and he takes so he can open drawers. And he does. And he will take all of my, one at a time, mind you. So it's slowly over the course of many days. He'll take all of my hair elastics, or my daughter's hair elastics, and disappear with them. I have no idea where they are. I'm sure I'm going to find 100 of them somewhere behind something one day. And then every once in a while he'll come back. Okay, so this is what he has. Where'd he go? There it is. So this is what he brought me right now. It's a twist tie. Yeah, I know. Here, I'll throw it for you. There you go. Yeah, anyway, he just he makes them disappear. I have no idea where they are. It's a good thing that they're pretty cheap at the dollar store, because this monkey is a nut. You want me to throw it again? You gotta bring it closer, buddy. There you go. Okay. Ash, on the other hand, he doesn't bother the elastics. He has these mice, little toy mice, and he plays with those and he hides those. Usually under the coffee table, like he puts them all under the coffee table. And then my daughter has to go and get them all, pulls them all out, and then 15 minutes later, they're all under the coffee table again. You have to bring it closer, buddy. Bring it closer. Someone's in the kitchen, moving pots and pans around. Okay, well, I think I'm going to end this here. I'm pretty tired, and like I said, I can't focus anymore. Just going to finish these last few stitches here. And I think I'm going to even do what I said I wouldn't do, which was park. There, and then okay, that's done, and that's done, and I'm going to park that right there. Okay, well, thank you very much for joining me today, and I hope wherever you are in the world, you're happy, healthy, safe, and you hopefully have gotten quite a lot of stitching done while you've been watching this. I have, let's see how many I did. I did 481 stitches. That's pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that. And I'm now at 16.54%. It's pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that. Let me know what you guys were working on, and how many stitches you managed to do. Not that it's not a competition or anything. It's just total curiosity. I like numbers, but there's definitely no judgment here. Anyway, I hope you have enjoyed this, and I will see you next time. Bye.